Hello everyone. Good morning to everybody on the Pacific time zone, everyone in the Eastern time zone, good afternoon, and everyone in Europe, good evening. It's good to see you. Very, very nice to always get together for these weekly collective readings. This week, it's about looking at opportunities, and I want to look at the direct title here. I believe we called it Revealing the Hidden Opportunities. So in particular, if you're feeling a little bit stuck, if you're wondering how you can make something happen, this is a great opportunity to see maybe what is just beyond the obvious. Sometimes we focus so much on trying to manifest something in a certain way, shape, or form, we miss something amazing. So we're looking for twists and turns, the road less traveled, and everything in that nature. Let's say hello to Apollo, who's right behind us, chilling out, playing with his toys a little bit. Give him a little pat on the head, and then let's get started on the channel messages. Hello, Apollo. You good boy? Yes, you are. Good boy. All right. So my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is the Weekly Collective. Everybody's welcome here. We're going to be taking a look at some channeled messages that came from Spirit first, and then we'll get into some special areas. So one thing that has been coming through on a lot of the daily readings is Spirit just is sort of insisting or encouraging you to be very much present in this moment. And I keep seeing like an old-fashioned fast-forward button that you might see on like a tape player or a VCR, trying to skip ahead and you'd have to wait. Spirit very much wants you to be in this moment right now. What can you do to maximize it? What can you learn from the challenges in front of you? And if you can fully lean into that, then whatever comes next is going to be better, richer, more fulfilling, because you're just very much experiencing and seeing everything for what it is. So slow down. Another way of saying this is slow down and just sort of sit with things for a second. The other thing that I'm being shown is teeth. So it feels like for many of you, there's this desire to like spit something out. And I think that keeping it simpler is going to be stronger than trying to be too wordy with it. So if you need to say yes or no to someone, just say what you need to say, RSVP. If something doesn't sound right, just raise your hand and say, I don't follow. Could you try explaining this in another way? When we get in our head too much, worry too much about the perfect way to say it, sometimes we just lose that window of opportunity. And speaking of windows of opportunity, I strongly believe this. If something is meant to be, there shouldn't be too much friction. So if you are being met with a lot of resistance, let's say for a job, for instance, you keep applying, you keep sending letters, you never hear back. That isn't the one. That isn't the opportunity. You want to find a space where there's much more fluidity and connectivity. This is also, by the way, true with relationships, especially if you're constantly texting but nobody texts back, or if you are always the one organizing or initiating. Pause for a second, sit with the energy, see what happens when you do nothing. Does that other party just sit? Because a lack of sort of like participation and communication is in and of itself basically them communicating a lack of priority. And our daily that I want to kind of piggyback on was for tomorrow, basically saying focus on what you can control. Because as I was getting ready today and preparing tomorrow's daily, it felt like, you remember, like, I think it was from Aladdin, where he says like exits are here, 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 and here. There was like all of these arrows pointing in all of these directions, and concern and worry and curiosity about like what was going on in all of these directions. When you can streamline it a little bit more and think, right here, right now, I know I can do this. I know that I'm seeing some reciprocity here, and those areas aren't really doing much. Why don't I just focus on where the doors are open, or try something completely different? Don't be afraid to shake things up a little bit, because sometimes that's exactly what the doctors ordered, is a change of routine, a change of expectation, and the ability just to explore a little bit. So get out there and explore. Okay, that was, and I forgot to put the graphic up, but that was the channeled messages that basically came through right from source. We're going to now get into a 7-day breakdown here for the week ahead to help you get organized. And while we're getting set up here, a quick reminder, it's 100% free. It helps more than you know. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new. Share this with someone else. Leave a comment when it's on replay. These sorts of things help the video find other people. It's just simple interaction, YouTube likes it and it shares it with other people. So thank you in advance for doing that. You can also help us meet a little mini goal here by giving back with a super sticker or a super chat. My graphic won't work for some reason, but you can become a member. You can hit that little target button. And if you do, again, very much appreciated. Okay, let's get started here for the week ahead. If you haven't yet meditated, close your eyes for a moment and just welcome in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. I often like to pretend that I'm sitting at the beach, creating a circle around me so that there is this sense of safety and containment as well. Okay, so let's pull the cards and see what this week has in store for everyone. This portion, suffice it to say, is general. So if you're here, you're getting what you need to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the energy for today, which looks pretty good. So we have the Magician energy coming through, but in the reverse position. So don't get distracted today. That's why I was seeing the importance of swim lanes. And even though we're looking at Sunday for Monday, for those of you, even if you're watching here in Europe, you still have time tonight to create like priorities. If you're on the West Coast or the Pacific time zone or somewhere where it's still Sunday, you can make even more plans, get even more together. But the important thing here is, what do I want? What am I needing clarity on? And where do I want to see an impact? Like, get that clarity so you don't get distracted. One thing that the magician needs to do is to be discerning. So just because you have all of the elements that are typically at the magician's table, we don't see it here, but it's a normal part of this. It doesn't mean that you have to use the whole kitchen sink, right? There's this phrase, everything in the kitchen sink. You have to really sort of make sure that you're using the right tool, the right utensil. You don't have to do everything at once. So focus, be a little bit picky and discerning, and choose which one of those tools you want to use at your disposal today. Magicians, when they're reversed, also lack faith, focus, and belief. So let's make sure you believe in yourself. If you can't see it and if you can't feel it on a heart level, then how are you expecting other people to do it? So the only homework assignment for whatever's left of Sunday for you, or even if you see this on Monday, is to just say that mantra, I believe I can do this. I may not know how, but I believe it's possible. And when you start to believe it, your eye opens, your third eye, and your sort of ability to connect with a synchronicity. So fake it till you make it with that belief that this can happen, okay? This is also a card connected to healing. And so some of you may be finally realizing that it's important to take care of yourself, seeking out healing, massage therapy, etc. It's the right time to do that. Let's get started with the energy of Monday. I like what I see here. We have the Page of Cups, passion, an ability to connect very well with other people, possibly new love, friendship, or alliances coming in, and it's just important to keep an open heart. Open heart, open mind. See how it feels. To that end, if something doesn't feel right, obviously don't do it, but if it does, don't get in your head and wonder, is this something I deserve? Is it going to be okay? What happens if the other shoe falls? Just believe in the miracles and the potential that you have in the situation. I love this deck because we see this cute little pig that's flying. So sometimes your wildest dreams can come true. We also see someone that isn't quite grounded. So one of your challenges today, you might be the sane person that's keeping everyone in order. Try to pull people down to earth on certain things. I love daydreaming, but on Monday, it's also about what are we going to do to bring this into action. And so it's a great day to make plans and to also just make sure that other people are taking it a step beyond just, I want this. Okay, now you want it. What are you going to do to make this happen? Okay? All right, let's move on to the energy of Tuesday. That's the other dog that we're with. Apollo's sleeping. All right, for the energy of Tuesday here, we have the Nine of Swords, which can represent unnecessary stress, but pay attention to it anyway, because everything is kind of like a blessing in disguise. So if you are stressed out about something, on the sort of highest and most elevated form, this means that there are stakes. You care about it. So butterflies can be one form of Nine of Swords, which is, oh, I hope I don't mess this up. So just think to yourself, what if I actually knock it out of the park? What if this is amazing? You can take the fear and make it the opposite, and that's one coping mechanism with the Nine of Swords. Now, if you are focusing also on just trying to please everyone, it's important to know that that isn't really realistic. If you're worrying about all these potential things that could go wrong, there comes a point where that is just counterproductive. And the encouragement here is to get a good night's rest, because behind her, there is an outline of a bed. And usually this card is connected with sleeplessness or this occupying your thoughts so much that it makes you fatigued. So things aren't as bad as you imagine them to be. In fact, they may be far better. Take care of yourself, talk to someone if you need to. And stress management is the name of the game on Tuesday. Someone else may come in and try to dump emotional garbage on your plate. So it could just be someone saying, oh my God, all this stuff happened, I need your help. And you can say to yourself, do I need to step into this quagmire? Or can I put a little box around it and say, I'd love to give you a hand. Why don't you call me after this amount of time? I have to focus on this first. Or just say, I don't have the capacity, but that person can. This is more like in work situations or school. If it's someone in your life, there comes a point sometimes where you may just have too much going on. You could just say, today isn't a good day, full stop. So manage your stress and don't allow others to trauma dump on you. And also, one thing that, it even happened to me this past week, like someone changed the appointment time that I had. And I just didn't stress about that because I wasn't told. I didn't receive the notification. They didn't have my number. And I'm like, this actually isn't my problem if someone doesn't communicate that they changed the time on me. So you can choose to stress about something or not to. If somebody does something wrong and tries to make you feel bad for it, I mean, they can try, but you don't have to react to it. Stress is very much your decision on how you're going to react to something. And if you think to yourself, if you had given me better notice, maybe it would have been my fault, but not now. It's like, you just have to like contextualize it. Some things aren't your fault. Some things aren't worth worrying about. And if you put all of the energy into worrying instead of resting, or instead of like creating a plan or moving the needle forward, then you're stealing an opportunity for advancement and growth. Okay. Towards the middle of the week, it's the other 9 here. We have the 9 of Cups, which is celebration. So I think this on Tuesday is not as deep or as sort of challenging as it feels. So why don't we go to the energy of Wednesday, where we have the 9 of Cups. So I just want to make sure that I had the right graphic up for the previous one. But while I'm doing that, 9 of Cups is celebration, happiness, dream fulfillment. Yeah, I did have Tuesday, good. And for many of you, this could be a chance also to take a moment to just talk to someone and say like, job well done. So if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have a wish, and today, as you're watching this live, the magician is saying, let's see if we can make it happen. Yes, the answer is yes. By the middle of the week, you start to see the fruits of that labor. What we want to avoid with the 9 of Cups is extremes. So the previous day, it was like most stressful day ever. And then this is like best day ever. And where's the middle ground on this? So it doesn't have to be these two extremes. When things are good, take it in stride and say, well, this is great. I'm enjoying it. I'm not stressing about this. And if things are not so great, think it's one day. For both of these, they're just one day on the calendar. And we're looking at the odds overall, which look pretty good in the spread. So let's not let the high or the low get in the way. One thing that I would avoid on Wednesday is going too far into anything. A lot of times this can represent overdoing the fun part of things. So partying too much, drinking too much, sleeping too much, kind of letting loose too much, and then you have like a hangover the next day. So everything in moderation. And that message really holds true for both Tuesday and Wednesday. But I love that the magician is right over this. So it feels like within 2 to 3 days, you could see some massive growth on what's going on. And I said, I think someone's saying the eclipse could absolutely be connected to these two cards for sure. Because this is the illusion and this is the reality. There are two sides to the coin. So just give things a chance to sort out, and that's going to be so much helpful, so much better for you, okay? All right. By the way, if you're having any issues streaming, I'm not seeing anything here, so just give it a good refresh. A lot of times you have to do that. Okay, let's move on to Thursday. On Thursday, we have the King of Swords in the reverse position. And so with this, speak up, speak out, speak briefly, and speak often. The King of Swords is communication personified, but he's also very outspoken and vocal. When it's reversed, he doesn't mince words. So it's okay to just say the word no. It's powerful. It's a complete sentence, right? It also liberates you when there's something that you don't want to do. Make sure that you are sensitive to the audience. This particular King card always reminds me of all the different modes of communication. Something that's casual or appropriate for one person can seem too abrupt or too informal for someone else. So just make sure that you're speaking in the right tone and the right medium at the right time. You can ask questions. You can also work with a lawyer if needed. This is a representative of both of those things. I think I had an option to cut cords, and we'll see if that's something that I want to look at later. But this would be a great day to cut cords, to say no, to get rid of anything that doesn't serve your highest good, okay? Now let's take a look at the end of the week, Friday. So much can be done. 8 of Pentacles, details, planning, learning, expansion. With the card in the reverse position, reviewing, revising, and editing are also a part of this. You might want to also look at a second opinion or a second insight to make sure that you're not missing something. The other thing here is the way Spirit is saying it is it's not written in stone. That's literally what I hear in my head. So you might want to create a contract or be careful of the way that you're saying it so it's not so concrete. So you could create some room to evolve and change something. So whether it's a document, legal document, or something of that nature that you're formulating, make sure that it's specific enough but open enough. And this often happens when you're creating like brand identities, certain types of logos and marks and things like that. They have to be just specific enough for protection, but not so specific that you're not allowed to evolve the brand. So yeah, a little bit of forward thinking. Don't box yourself in unnecessarily, okay? This is a great day to take a class, go to school, learn something new, teach something, or get it in writing. Really, really productive end of the week. I know it's a Friday. Many of you might just relax, but this card is inviting you to also get as much work as you feel comfortable getting done on that day. Okay. Let's take a look at the upcoming weekend. I love how we have like 9s here and 3s. So there's like pairing energies coming through. 2 really good things on the weekend. First of all, as we take a look at the energy of Saturday, a chance to connect with new people, but I'm getting also this desire to just be by yourself a little bit. So if you get out of your shell just a bit, spend some time at a party or with a friend, it could be quite advantageous. You could learn a lot, you could have some fun. It's just a question of if you're ready, if it's something that you want to do. 3 of Cups in reverse can also represent someone in your life that's trying to insert themselves in the equation. Sometimes that can be good, but if you're really trying to focus on something and this is a form of distraction, keep it at arm's length, reschedule. In relationships, this can also be someone like an ex or a family member that really doesn't have any business in the current situation, but they're putting their head or their nose in the situation when they shouldn't. So have proper boundaries. Avoid gossip. 3 of Cups in the reverse position can represent gossip that has a way of getting back to the person that you're talking about. We just take a drink and then we're going to take a look at the upcoming Sunday. Okay. So for a week from today, we have 3 of Wands in the reverse position. First of all, if I can hold the card. The 3 of Wands indicates an energy of now. So if you were wondering, can it happen? Not only is this a yes, this can happen, but it's more like present tense. It's happening. So it's an ing sort of energy in the cards. When it's in the reverse position, however, you might have missed it. That's what this is going to be the topic today. So what's the hidden opportunity? If I were to change my perspective, my direction, my focus, my geographical location, could I find something else? Perhaps. So be very open to all of those things, the who, the where, the when, the location, all of that. Because I feel like what you're seeking is here, but just not in the way that you expected. So there's a lot of confounding energy this week where Spirit is saying, yes, but it's not going to look, feel, sound, smell, taste like you expect. Also, you're not waiting for someone to do this, you're doing it. So this is normally a card where there's a person and there's boats and there's this liminal space in between. We've removed all of that from the equation. You are the person, you are the boat. The question is where? It's happening or it can happen. Where do I need to insert myself? There's no question of if, just when or where. And so as we look at the special topic today, we're going to see where this surfer can go. Because I already get a yes. Yes, it's happening. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's within reach. But something about the current organization, the current view is what's obscuring it a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at highlights and challenges for this week, and then we'll move on to the next portion. So if I were to look at this and try to identify like the biggest opportunity, I would say, first of all, today is amazing. It's just a chance for you to look at things from new perspectives. Monday looks great. I see wish fulfillment. It's almost like every other day. So Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all highlights. And then next weekend is great, but it requires a little recalibration. The only challenge really, honestly, is Tuesday. And it's unnecessarily stressing about things that you don't need to stress about. So there you go. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. Like I said before, if you enjoy this, please give me a like, a comment, and if you'd like to give back with a super sticker or join as a member, feel free to do so. It helps more than you know, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to get into the elements before we go into the special topic. And this is a chance for us to basically touch base on all of the signs. I'm about 1/3 of the way through. I saw someone leave a comment, and I know it was well-intentioned, so I'm taking it as such. They said, I love what you're doing, but I don't like it when you don't put all the videos out at the beginning of the month. Just a reminder, I've recently moved from one location to another, and I'm still not in, I'm gonna possibly be moving into a more semi-permanent place this week. So when you're changing continents, living out of a suitcase, and probably moving after 2 or 3 weeks, the schedule's not always going to be consistent. I'll show up for the weeklies, and the dailies and the monthlies are just going to be flexible in the in-between. I appreciate the feedback, and I feel it too. I understand. We'll get there. Give me a moment or two. Sometimes life happens, and I'm being very forgiving with myself, so I hope you guys can do that as well. I understand. I love that you actually want to see it. That means that it makes a difference. So I understand that it came from a good place. But it also stressed me out. So try not to stress me out and try to understand what I'm going through too. Okay, now back into, as I was saying here, we're going to take a look at the elements. So we're going to look at fire, earth, air, and water. We'll start off with fire first. But let me just get the cards shuffled and we'll get started here. Yeah, it's okay. One thing that I've learned too is just to kind of consider where it came from, and it was enthusiasm. So I took a deep breath and I'm like, I get it. I probably would be impatient too. It's all good. I actually love that people care. If you didn't care, I guess that would be more of a problem. All right, so fire, earth, you got a lot going on this week. Air and water. Let's talk. We'll start off with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Don't underestimate your value or worth. We have Five of Pentacles energy coming through. In this Five of Pentacles, she's created this sort of cage around what's possible, what's available, and it's based on illusions and projections from the past. She's afraid to put herself out there for fear of rejection. But look at the beautiful flower that's within. Let's look at the traditional five while we're talking. So here's some things that you can do this week while I'm getting the original card. One thing is to focus on general health and rest. So the Five of Pentacles, if we take aside the self-confidence piece, it often has to do with being burned out. You can get a cold, you can be run down. Also, when you're not at your best, you're also just not able to produce. And it becomes this sort of like self-fulfilling prophecy, or it's kind of like you're putting the same energy back into it. So rest, take a break, get some sleep. It will help you, okay? Also, you notice here the crutches and the cast. Sometimes arthritic energy can present itself in this card. So if you have fibromyalgia, arthritis, it's more of a flare-up. It's not a 10 of swords, it's a flare-up. Take care of yourself. One day of rest can actually get you back on your feet again. Also, notice the church behind the two characters here in the foreground. Now we're going to get more into the symbolic stuff. Don't be afraid to either ask for help or to receive help. And if there's someone in your life that rejects your moment, like if you ask for help and they say no, remember that. Because just like in marriages, like with friendships, it's for better or for worse. If there's only some fair weather friends or family, then in the future when things get rough, you don't have to invest as much because they're not meeting you when you need them, okay? In the past, there might have been a rejection where someone didn't see your potential, and that is more an indication of a moment in the past where maybe they lacked imagination, or they lacked insight, or they lacked information. Whatever it is, it's not now. So ask for more, don't give more than you need to, and don't push yourself to the point of diminishing returns. Ultimately, excuse me, I had a hiccup there. Ultimately, the next card represents a chance to balance and to get back to your sort of steady grounding. So just take it one day at a time. You will get through this, okay? All right. Now let's move on from all the fire signs to Earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Changes. Are you ready to let something go or be released from your life? So in this tower, it's kind of a loving tower. So part of this is I feel so comfortable here that I don't want to go in this relationship, in this job, in this situation. She could also be lovingly deconstructing it. This used to feel good, but it doesn't anymore. So I'm going to be the agent of and reconstruction. I'm going to take it, I built it, I can take it apart, I can use that information, energy, and knowledge to build something new, okay? Now, let's just talk about it. It's a tower. There could be things happening this week that are out of your control. Remember, listen also to my daily for tomorrow. It's all around themes of control. Was it your decision? If not, all you have to do is choose how to react to it. So let's say there's a layoff at work. That wasn't your choice. So you can decide to beat yourself up or say, all right, well, maybe I have some severance, maybe I have some money saved up, or I know I've got a month or 2 months, whatever they're giving you. Take that with gratitude and then just say, I'm also free of this. I don't have to do this anymore. What am I going to do instead? I can't control that it happened, but I can try not to freak out and I can try to land on my feet the best possible. This can also be a decision to get out of a toxic situation. It can literally be an environment like I just got out of where there was mold and it was causing problems in my body. It can be a toxic work environment where you're not supported, a toxic relationship where someone gaslights you. And these sorts of things, it's good to break it down and say, I got to get out of there. And if there has been a sort of stasis, plateau, or a level of complacency, the universe often puts massive types of changes into your life so that you just have to move on. So it's back to the if versus when. It's not a question of if, it's done, it's over. Now, what are you going to do and when are you going to do it? That's what's going to help you stay strong, stay powerful, and basically be the surfer that surfs that energy of change to your own betterment, okay? If you have a house, do preventative maintenance. Same thing for a car, same thing for a computer. If there's something that you've been sort of thinking, oh, I'll get to it one day, maybe this week you take care of it so that you don't have to wait for the tower. Okay. Ultimately, I always like to remind people towers can also be unexpected goodwill or good news. Winning the lotto, having a baby, getting asked out on a date, getting a new job, something really, really cool that you didn't see but you embrace. So towers can be good too, but there's unexpected and also big change energy attached to it. So a lot can happen this week. It shouldn't be boring, okay? All right, so let's move on from all the earth signs to air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You are deciding if you're in or out. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position. You might see some growth and movement on something that you really care about, and it's just a moment to say, wow, look at what I did, and decide to see it through. If you notice something's missing, though, this is the powerful part of the Ace of Pentacles reversed. You can say, I need more. Look at what I've done. This is how close we are, but to complete it, I need this. we didn't estimate this correctly. So you can ask for a loan, you can ask for assistance, you can ask for more. If you're doing something that's like, let's say it's a job, and you see an opportunity, you can state intent. I'd like this. If you're at a gathering and you like someone, you can go and talk to them and ask them if they're interested in grabbing a coffee. You're stating intention and interest, and you're putting yourself out there. It's like putting a coin in a machine when it's reversed. When it's upright, you're receiving it, but when it's reversed, you have more power. You're deciding, I want this, I need this, something's missing, can you help? You're very much active. It's not a passive energy with this ace reversed, okay? And you never know what's possible until you ask, right? So if there's something and you think to yourself, I wonder, ... well, then you might as well ask. Find out. And if it's a rejection, then at least you know, and you can put it to bed that night, and the next day focus on someone or something else, okay? Seeds take time to grow. Give something time to grow in your life. Give yourself a chance to grow and develop. It doesn't all happen overnight, folks, even though we wish it would. Overall, good energy with an ace. Something, just need to stay focused this week too. Don't lose track of that target, even if it is a moving target. All right, finally, let's look at Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces and see what's going on with the water signs here. We have Temperance in the reverse position, which is impatience. But look at how protected she is. She has coverage. She has assistance. There's a light, airy energy about this. I want to pull the traditional one too, because one thing that Temperance is inviting you to do is to weigh your options and sleep on it. If there's something important, you don't need to make your mind up today or tomorrow. Buy yourself a little bit of time, and if you're pushed and it doesn't feel good, honor that discomfort and say, you know what? I think maybe I need to wait. This doesn't feel right for me. Also, this is spirit coming through. It's one of the angelic cards, and that's why I wanted to pull this traditional one. So we see an angel here, and the angel comes through to remind you to listen. Like slow down, tune in, look around. And before committing to something, test the waters and look at what's behind the angel, this beautiful path. So there's something just around the bend, but first things first, you have to tune in. How do I feel? What am I picking up on? Am I missing something? Ask for feedback. Listen to the feedback. If things are happening slower than you'd like, as long as they're still happening, whatever speed they are, that's exactly the pace that you need right now, at least for the week ahead. Slow and steady is better than not at all. And also, there might be something better. Okay? What does your heart want? Those two chalices are right around the heart space. What do you feel like? It's like when someone asks you, what do you want to eat? One of the ways that they can do it is not just what do you want, what do you feel like? What do you feel like tonight? So what do you feel in your heart? What do you want next? We're not talking dinner, we're talking a big life shift or move. Take your time. Temperance reversed is saying don't rush, especially. Temperance is always about taking your time and not overreacting, but especially when reversed. You are being guided and you are being protected, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Rejection is protection. Delays are protection. It comes in many shapes and forms. Okay. Now we're going to get into the special topic for today. Looking at what? Hidden opportunities. Revealing hidden opportunities. All right, let me get a deck of cards ready for this. And I need a little bit of a lozenge because my throat is sore because it's dry weather today. And let me get started on this. So let me see if I can find the lozenge. Perfect. Okay. Take a moment now, please. Close your eyes and just let go of everything. Don't worry about expectations. Don't worry about needing to see things or whatever. Needs, wants, worries. Leave them at the door like a coat hanger. I'd like you just to be present and collectively ask your guides or your higher self to show you what you need to see, okay? Okay. Let's begin with your catalyst. Okay, I just threw the catalyst. Let's not throw the catalyst over the edge. So we have the Hermit coming through. The hurdle is me holding the card. Here's your Hermit card. What I love about this is instead of holding a passive lantern, we see this little fire in front of him. So you have everything that it takes, like the recipe for success, but you have to create the spark. This Hermit ostensibly got, like flint and whatever, and basically started that spark. I know how to do it, I want it enough, but I need to create the friction in order for this to happen. A little bit of movement on your part. So don't wait. Don't wait and see. Don't expect. We are not looking at passivity here, we're looking at active energy. Research. Take some time to research all that's available to you. Ask questions if you need to. This is a great energy connected to like mentorship, teaching, and reading and researching all of this stuff. So the information's out there. You might just need a moment or two to assess. And then to take that sort of theory and put it to practice. This is one of the biggest differences from like being in school and learning that, this is how you should do it. But when you get out into the real world, oftentimes there's a lot more nuances on how you have to do something. So when you put it to practice, it's going to be a lot different than you expect. Be patient with yourself, okay? Now let's look at the spread. I find it fascinating that we got the Tower in the crowning position. The Tower is reversed. So for many of you, there may be a decision or desire to shake things up and make things happen. When we look beyond that, we see that something's already come to pass as well. So this is really cool and very important. Whatever this is, it's happening because it's already done. And I feel like some of you might have been holding on to something longer than you needed to, okay? Let's go to the center card first. So we have strength coming through right at the center, but it's reversed. Please, 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 take a moment to take care of yourself. We can take this at face value, which is making sure you're protecting your physical well-being, your actual strength, and it's spirit coming through telling you you're strong enough, provided that you get the sleep, the rest, and the support that you need, okay? This can also be a person in your life that is pulling at your strength. A parent, a teacher, a next door neighbor, a sibling, someone that you might love and respect, but they're coming in and they're either pushing their own projections and will in your direction, or they're zapping your energy a little bit and saying, well, I would have expected more, or why didn't you do this, or why can't you do that? And it kind of like deflates your balloon. Stand up for what you believe. It has merit and value, but you have to believe in it. Back to the energy of the magician on the daily reading. I said that if you don't believe, no one else will. It's really important when this kind of energy comes into your life to really believe in yourself, because they can see through insecurities and they can use that to their advantage. So get really solid on something that you care about. You are strong enough, but you might be fatigued. You may lack self-confidence, or there may be someone in your life that wants to keep you still because it feels good for them. They don't want to lose you. So see also through their own sort of like attachments and know that it's okay. You can do this. You can handle any and everything that's coming your way, okay? There may be a Leo in your life that's a very, very significant influence, but with it reversed, take a step back and make sure that you're not getting lost in the equation, okay? One of the biggest challenges in front of you right now is this Eight of Wands. I feel like some of you are overly busy or overly committed. This is inviting you to really decide, do I need to do this? Is it adding to the equation, or is it creating a sense of distraction? Is it possibly taking some of my time, energy, and money that I could focus on something and swirling it around in places that it doesn't need to be? So we need to make sure that you're not just busy for the sake of being busy. In other words, I love the Eight of Wands, though. It is typically rockets flying through the air. So it shows productivity, movement, fluidity, but you need to be present and you need to not get lost in it and not use it as an escape. That's the basic parts of this. But I mentioned earlier, it was the energy for like this upcoming Sunday, right? The Three of Wands in reverse. It's happening. If you're too busy, you might miss some of the signs along the way. Think of if you're driving in a car and you're fiddling with the radio or you're talking on the phone or there's a kid in the car, something that's getting your attention, you can miss an exit. So that's what I'm getting with this is a highway metaphor. And it's saying focus on the road, focus on what's around you. Because it's a busy energy and we don't want you to get unnecessarily distracted. Okay. Something has been brewing for a while. So we have the Death card here. This can represent sort of like a slow growing energy of change or release in your life. And when it starts to happen, so the metaphor that Spirit's showing me is the change of autumn leaves. Here in Madrid, it's the heat of summer. But in some parts of the world, it's like a little bit more subtle. But like when you start to see leaves subtly change, right? You'll only see a few. And then suddenly one day, everything's one color, okay? So when that happens, it's like, oh my God, what happened? Like overnight? No, it's been happening for a while. So change takes time. Give it time to set in. With the Death card here, it's just a question of your level of attachment. What is it what about this person, place, thing, or event that is keeping you hooked in? Like, this is the only way to do it, or I have to do this, or I have to focus on that. If you can allow yourself to entertain the possibility that this was just one thing in my life, one moment. It doesn't have to be there's a finality to death that really isn't there. I like to view death as kind of like the month January. You go from one into another. So you're exiting something, but that leaves room for something better to come through. So ask yourself, what's the next thing that I could celebrate? The next thing that I could focus on, okay? And the other thing that Spirit's showing me is it's time for an upgrade. So if you're open, an amazing upgrade could be coming into your life as well, okay? That being said, we can also look at this at face value. You might have lost someone or something that you love. Here we can see a little pet. But it could be a job, it could be a loved one, it could be a part of yourself, it could be something that you were very much attached to. And it's okay to feel all of those things. As someone who's gone through loss and death multiple times, each experience is different. One size doesn't fit all. And it's kind of like having a birth of I don't have family, I don't have kids, but I've talked to people that have given birth to multiple kids or adopted kids are like, they're never the same. Same thing if you have a couple dogs. One dog may be like Apollo, super chill, and then the next one that you get may be just like a firecracker. You never know. So all that we can infer from this is that things are about to change, and they could be really positive, especially if you've been through something difficult. So you can't repeat history, and something really, really cool could be on the horizon, okay? We have the wheel. The card is reversed. This is the Wheel of Fortune. When it's in the reverse position, some of you might be deciding, I want to go back and finish this. So one of your hidden opportunities might be that you have a passion project, that you have, maybe there's a degree that you want to go back to school and finish that, or you're going to change direction. I've been doing this for like X amount of years. Now I think I want to do this. I'm going to spin the Wheel of Fortune and see if it lands where I want it to land. You never know until you spin it and you try it, right? For those of you that have been having difficulty in success, money, and life, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is also just saying there's a season and a reason for everything, and this too shall pass. If you need or want more, ask for more. This was true of the air signs that had the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, but anybody can do it. You can just say this is no longer enough, or I need more, or I want this. Any and all of those can work. But by the way, each one of these 3 cards is a change card. Death, the absolute and most ultimate sort of change card. There is an immediacy to this. So I've talked a little bit about this before. There's about 4 or so death cards in tarot. Death itself, which is saying it's happening. It's a now card. 4 of Swords, it's a sleepy card. 6 of Swords, it's moving. It's change happening in real time. Disconnection happening in real time. Release happening in real time. And then there's Judgment, which is, I'm done with that now, and I'm already 1 foot into something new. It's the other side of this. It's rebirth. So, in addition to that, cyclical. So all of those things represent change. So does the Wheel of Fortune, especially reversed. So does the Tower. This is now, and this is now. The change is happening now. And you might be changing in multiple areas of your life. Relationships, money, living situation. All of them could be in flux. When it rains, it pours sometimes. Have you ever noticed on the 3 of Swords, it's actually, there's water on it? Most people don't see that because it's an air sign, or it's an air card, but there's a lot of, actually in a lot of the Swords cards, you'll see water, but particularly that one. Like the 2 of Swords has it too, but I'm going to pull the 3 of Swords. So it's a storm. There's rain, the clouds in the background. The storm is passing. The change is happening. The movement is here. So don't be afraid. It's already changed by the time we're done with this reading. Things are shifting in real time, okay? But let's look at the Tower. All right, the Tower in the crowning position. In the position of love, which is the very next card, so we have the Lovers coming through. This is about falling head over heels. The reason being, I'll find the traditional Tower while we're talking, is because we see people falling out of the Tower upside down. So there might be someone that you meet in your life that kind of gets your head going in directions that it wouldn't be. And Spirit is saying, although it's really fun to fall in love like that, make sure you don't lose yourself. I can't wait to see the new Practical Magic that's out like this fall. But I remember there's this scene where Nicole Kidman is talking to one of the younger nieces, and she asks her, like, do you know that feeling of when you're spinning in circles and your head gets really dizzy and all of that? And she said, that's kind of like falling in love. And the girl says, I can't wait to fall in love. And she's like, give yourself time. You want to make sure that you don't have that sort of dizzy feeling. So here's your traditional card. Upright, you can actually see these 2 people falling head over heels. And that's followed by love. So it depends what surrounds the Tower. There could be a relationship in your life that disconnects you from reality or is a fantasy or just kind of like gets in your mental space too much. So make sure that you have proper boundaries and you don't jump head first. Breathe, give it time. Doesn't mean that it's going to be ill-fated. It just means it's not healthy. Okay, other things with the Tower. If there's a habit in your life that isn't serving you, it's time to give it up. And in this situation, oftentimes you don't get a choice in the matter. So maybe you get higher blood pressure, higher blood sugar, or like I was in a living situation where there was mold, couldn't stay there anymore. And I didn't really want to stay in that building anymore. And I had like 2 back-to-back situations where that happened. And I thought, if I'm going to make changes, let's do massive changes. So sometimes you have so many things going on at once that you just have to move on. I feel like Spirit wants you to make a necessary change, okay? Allow yourself to just go for it. Take that leap of faith. Especially given what we're seeing right now, if not now, then when? And how much more of a distinct and clear layout or clear real life situation do you need? Okay? Let me take another drink and then we're going to talk about the Lovers. All right, so this is auspicious. This tells me that the change or changes that are happening are actually for your benefit. So, a couple ways to look at the Lovers card. First of all, in this deck, it's just called Love, but it's about being in the frequency of love. Love can be, let's put it this way. It can be unconditional love and passion that you put out into the world. It doesn't have to be in a person. So if you love volunteering, You're basically broadcasting love and beaming it out to a big group of receptive souls that need and want your volunteer work, your passion. If you're an artist of any form, you're taking a download, you're taking your passion, you're putting it out there for the world. The friend that I'm staying with recently took me to a couple of beautiful museums where I'm at, and you look at some of these things that have been around for, centuries or millennia, and you think that passion that that person had has stood the tests of time. Literally, empires have risen and fallen, and it's still around. So that's, like, to me, one of the biggest and most beautiful ways that you can put something that you love out into the world. It doesn't have to just be investing in another person or a family or whatever, but it can also be, I'm going to make something that will last and stand the test of time. The common sort of like denominator in all of this is just passion, care, love, and affection. And if it's there, you can do amazing things. If you don't feel it, if you don't feel the love in your job, in your relationship, for yourself, where you're living, then it's time to ask yourself why and when you're going to start to conjure up some love. And by the way, this is about hidden opportunities. There might be some love around the corner for many of you. And why? You might have changed your job. You might have changed your living situation, some habits in your life. Maybe you're finally free of some things that you didn't, that were kind of like barnacles attached to you before. Now you have this clearance. So we cleared things out. We changed some habits. We let go of some stuff. And now something bigger, better, and brighter can come through. And it's amazing. So open yourself up to receive. And hello, who do we have here? A very Poseidon-like King of Cups. So the King of Cups is coming through, basically representing in the minor arcana the ultimate energy of receptivity, creativity, sensitivity, love, and joy. And where is it at? It's in the area representing you, the collective. Love yourself. Love what you're doing. Love. Get into that energy of love and passion. Love can also be gardening. It doesn't have to just like anything that you feel like I'm doing something that matters, that's love, okay? People, places, activities, environments, you name it. But if you don't have it right now, create it, okay? Speaking of creativity, this is a time to really tap into that. Trust your heart, trust your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, and put yourself out there. And yes, there might be a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces coming into your life. But ultimately, with the Lovers and the King of Cups, two of the ultimate cards connected to love, I think that you're just finally ready to be happy. And if you can sit in the energy of receptivity, I earned this. I deserve this. I'm ready for this. I want more of this. You're allowed to say and wish and want all of those things. I've also mentioned one thing that makes me kind of like laugh and also be slightly annoyed, which is this idea that when you have a wish, you keep it secret. No, say it out loud, often, loud, scream it from the top of a mountain. Like, we want to get it out into the world, what it is that you believe in, what you represent, what you need, what you want, so that it can be heard, okay? And we have a very receptive energy in the environment. So Two of Wands is dreaming, believing, envisioning, and checking in. But mostly like giving yourself a chance to dream. So this Two of Wands is reversed. I feel like she's overthinking things. I'm going to pull the traditional Two of Wands while we're talking. When was the last time you just gave yourself a chance to think, what if? Because that's really where dreams begin. Like, what if I tried this? What if this is possible? Why not? Think about if you had all the time, all the money, all the resources in the world. What would you do? How would you spend your days? Like, create this perfect sort of like persona and opportunity, and then say, maybe it's out there. What if it's out there? And I just need to look. You have to know what you want, though, first, and you have to believe that it can happen before you can identify the passageway to that dream. Here's your Two of Wands, the traditional illustration. He's looking at a globe. He's between the past and the future, and he's thinking, not if, but when, where, how. Like, how am I going to bring this into, I know I want this. I believe this can happen. Show me the way. That can be your prayer right now. Show me the way. The card is reversed, so you're thinking too small or you're thinking too literally. There's a different way. This is a common theme, not just this week, but especially in this reading. There's a different path to get there. We'll look at it as we expand the forecast in a little bit, but I believe that you're very much being encouraged to look beyond the obvious, okay? The eclipse coming through this week, it doesn't matter if you're on the part of the planet that can see it, the solar eclipse, is important. Any eclipse, it doesn't matter if it's solar or lunar, they basically allow us to get in touch with both the illusion and shadow part of ourselves, and then also the bright reality that is here. So for a little moment here at the middle of the week, you should have clarity, even if it is just for 10 minutes or something. Tune into it. See when the eclipse is closest to you and meditate and see the biggest shadow and see the biggest light in that moment, and know that the light will overcome that shadow. Okay. Hopes, fears, and opportunities. We have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands in the upright position. Very powerful, but a little bit doubtful in this deck. So normally the Page of Wands is kind of like the equivalent of switching on a light bulb, right? Aha moment. Not only that, but getting people excited and enticed by what it is that you want or feel. One thing that I'm getting, and I want to pull the traditional Page of Wands for this, is disbelief. And I think for some of you, it's coming from that like Five of Pentacles energy that we talked about. So all that Spirit really wants to convey is you can do it. You can do this. But you have to believe that you can do it. And it's almost like you're getting in touch with your inner salesman this week. And you're very much being asked to just say, okay, how would I sell myself on this? And then if you can say that as your mantra and then eventually share that with other people, I feel like you can start to make a difference. So in the traditional Page of Wands, it's less fearful. So this one, can I do it? In this one, he's sizing up the wand and he's saying, how far can this take me? How much energy is this? How can I get this out into the world? He might even be looking at that and thinking, I really believe that I have something worth sharing. How do I articulate it? What's interesting with the Page of Wands is that Wands is more about showing than telling. So if there's something that you need to somehow get people to believe, show them a real life example, demonstrate it, prototype it, or just do it. Ask for permission and apologies later, just go for it. And then once you've proven it, people may be more on board. Excuse me. Let me take a drink and then we're going to talk some more. I might need to do another lozenge. My throat got sore all of a sudden. Okay, so you have to put some belief and passion behind what it is that you're saying and doing. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to see it from your perspective. Okay? Also, this is a chance to get inspired. I mentioned going to multiple museums over the past week when I'm not working, trying to enjoy a little bit of where I'm at. So you can go and watch and listen and interact with other people that are like exciting, that get you connected to what's possible, okay? And then I feel like this is thematically really tuned into what we're doing here, the Four of Cups. There could be a hidden opportunity right in front of you. So we see this cup right there, but she feels like when it pours, when it rains, it pours, and she's missing this. One thing that the Four of Cups reminds us to do, or not to do, is to compare ourselves unfairly to someone else. Sorry, the coughing made me now have some watery eyes. I'm going through it like you guys. All right. So with the Four of Cups in reverse, allow yourself maybe to just step back from something. Because if you get too much in the weeds, sometimes, or too sort of like, focus on the small print, you will miss something that's big and bold for everyone else. Also, if you hear the same thing 3 or 4 times from different people, maybe there's something to it. They might see that there's a natural match that you didn't see all the way along. So get a different sort of like perspective, take a step back, and don't unfairly compare yourself to other people, because nothing great comes of these comparisons. sometimes we are just putting ourselves in an unrealistic light because just because someone else could do it doesn't mean it's going to make sense or work for us. Excuse me. Sorry, now I'm choking because I had too much to drink. So slow and steady wins the race. Let me take another sip here though because I have to, and then we'll move on to the next portion. Also, I just want to take a quick look at the cards while I'm allowing my throat to be cleared out. So I want to look at this diagonal here. I feel like this is a month during which, or a weekend month, during which if it's meant to be, particularly in a relationship, it's going to either grow or go. This can also be extended to any opportunity. You deserve, without a shadow of a doubt, to receive the same energy that you're putting into something. So if you're putting your heart and you're putting your all into something and you're not receiving, it's time to let it go. Like that person or that place, put it somewhere where it can be basically exponentially expanded. You deserve better, okay? Now let's go ahead and expand the forecast. We're going to take a deeper dive into the energies of health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And let's see what the opportunity is, because we are looking at hidden opportunities for the special topic. What's the hidden opportunity with health? This is such a beautiful card. It's a very different version of it, but like, let's talk. So this is Judgment, but what they chose to do in this deck was that, first of all, we have a phoenix and we have an opposite version of the word judgment. So we're taking it more at its like dictionary version versus tarot, which we'll talk more about in a second. So whatever you did in your life or whatever's happening in your body, whether it's you're in control or not in your control, just love yourself, forgive yourself, and say, all I can do is manage the moment. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and change things, but for some reason I needed to go through this. When I was going through, and things still aren't 100% perfect yet, but they continue to improve each and every day, and including where I'm living right now, it's so much better for my eustachian tubes. But when I went through all of that and almost lost my hearing, I had a chat with Spirit. I'm like, literally, why? What is going on? And I had decided at that point not to make a move and just stay, and then it was a much worse experience for that decision. And I thought to myself, I should have just followed my instincts. Why didn't I do it? And then I just forgave myself and said, okay, so this time do it. Change it up. So you can just make a decision. Sometimes we need the final straw. You have to hit rock bottom or have one final uncomfortable experience, and then you're like, anything's better than this. I'm going to make the change. It took that to get here. So at least you're here now. At least you know what you don't want, and now you can make choices that better serve and suit you. And to me, that's a very winding road sort of win, but it's still a win at the end of the day. Love and forgive yourself, okay? Now, traditionally, and I'll see if I might have to, I don't know if I put the stickies on this deck, but traditionally, the Judgment card shows graves and souls rising up from the dead. And so it's basically a moment in time where you can't go back. I had a friend today talk to me about that, actually, that's learning how to read tarot. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. When it's done, it's done. And sometimes we just have to step through and say, I've experienced everything I need, and I'm taking this as a wake-up call. That also is ultimately what I'm getting at with all of this. I'll just cover this one up. I forgot to put stickies on it. YouTube doesn't like any bodily nudity, even if it is something that's artistic. So it's hard to do it. But there we go. So there's souls rising up from the dead. I did a good job. All right. So I'm just going to have to do that. So beneath my fingers are the graves that they're rising up from. But also the angel at the top is important, and it's saying, wake up. It's like that beeping alarm clock, wake up. And if not now, then when? So then we have like a phoenix in this deck, which represents rising from the ashes of something that could have been much worse, something that was worse than it needed to be, but now you're different. Now you can come back. Now you can do the right thing. So forgive yourself, love yourself, and take this as a wake-up call, okay? You might also just be dealing with the theme of forgiveness in your life. There could be someone around you that you're choosing to just let it go rather than argue because it's healthier, because it's better. There may be someone around you that's judging you, and you aren't going to let them get under your skin. So we're not really looking at traditional health things here. We're looking at preservation, looking at relationships for what they truly are, and judging them with a newfound clarity. And if there is something that was a near miss or like a wake-up call, just embrace it and say, thank God I paid attention, okay? You have a chance right now to make significant growth and movement if you wake up, if you listen, okay? Some good elements of this, again, it's in the past, and this is the other side. So this is death, this is rebirth, this is something challenging, this is the other side. You're already halfway there because we have that in the crowning position. Some of you might need to leave a job, leave a home, leave something because it isn't working for you anymore. Some of you, it is like the working situation, or maybe even your relationship with money, which can be unhealthy. We're looking at different things that can be health related. That could be part of this. Things that can help you out right now: partnership, therapy, friends. And ultimately here, it feels like you can shift the energy in any direction that you need to, okay? All right. So that is health. Let's go ahead and look at wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. I love it when we get like pentacles for this, and a very descriptive pentacles at that. So I mentioned earlier when I pulled the 5 of Pentacles for, I think, the elements, the very next card is going to help you through that. And I can't remember if it was the fire signs that got it. Whoever had it, this is for you. But all of us can benefit from that. So again, we're looking at wealth. And one thing that we can say here before I get into the specifics is it's just about choices. So you can't necessarily do everything all at once, but you can do it over time. So just make good decisions. Stick to a budget. Decide how much you want to put into something right now, and then eventually saying no is part of this. There's always going to be open hands, expectations, etc. And you decide yes to that, no to that. So that's part of this. Evening the exchange is the other part. So even when this card is reversed, the way that this is illustrated is give and take. So in work, in life, in love, it's give and take. If it's just give or just take, it's not enough and it can't be sustainable. All right, briefly connecting this to some different categories. If you're presently employed, it might be time to negotiate a new position, a new salary, something of that nature. What's going well for you is your ability to work with others. What's not going well for you could be, again, payment. There's restructuring for some of you, or this feeling that something needs to change. This can be an itch, like this energetic itch that I want to try something different. A lot of times we'll go through the motions of learning and then completing something, and then we think, is this it? So there could be an anticlimactic achievement moment where you prove that you could do it, but now you're thinking, I need something more. So it's time to research options. Some of you could be recently made redundant, or there's a merger or a change, and you're asking yourself, now what? Lean on the support of friends and family. Give yourself the time that you need to sort of like find your footing, and you're going to be okay in the long run. Entrepreneurs, the key thing here is not to try to be at the center of everything, and that's kind of the definition of an entrepreneur. But what's required is you might want to hire someone, since we have this Page of Wands here, or you might need to kind of like delegate or weigh out what's necessary. Don't overextend yourself. That's the important thing here. It's time to reorganize. You might decide to reincorporate, reorganize, change your branding, change something about your website, and it does look beneficial. So making necessary changes. Job seekers, you might need to look in a different geographical location, especially with the Tower in the reverse position. You might want to shift industries or shift titles because what you've been looking for either doesn't exist or there might be something a little bit better if you're open to trying something new. Really good to network, and it's who you know, not just what you know, that's going to help you get something. The one thing that I see with the Six of Pentacles is just the very realistic understanding that it's very close to what you're looking for, but there might be some compromise. So can you find something this week? Yes, but it may not be picture perfect. But if you just need something for right now, this card would connect with that, and sometimes that's what you need when you're job seeking. For students, don't overextend yourself. Get ample rest. You're doing great at what you're setting out to do, but for some of you, there's two ways I can read this. Some of you are going back to school. You didn't do it before. This time you're deciding, I really want this, and success will follow. It's a good thing. Some of you are feeling like you need to change something about your degree or the way your program is organized. Talk to an advisor, take your time, don't jump into it. It might take a little bit longer to do this than you think, but it might be exactly what you want to do. I feel like you have to see this semester out, but start to plan for the next one. This is especially true if you're in the summer semester. It's almost over, so there you go. Also looking at the budget, making sure that you can afford this. So it might just mean stretching it out a little bit or doing a work study. And for retirees, it's finally a chance for you to just relax, but it feels like there needs to be some changes in your schedule. Some of you maybe in a desire to just hang out with people. It feels like you have too much on your social schedule or your social calendar. There's a lot of people that want to be with you, but you could also be spending time babysitting or working, and it feels like this isn't your job. So some of this is saying just let it go. You don't have to pick up the pieces for everyone around you. You're allowed to rest, and you worked hard to get to this point, assuming that you are retired. The money looks okay. The Six of Pentacles is a good card, but you have to be smart with your money. So this is about budgeting in the splurges, but really making sure that the rest of the time that you're living within your means. Things that could be fun right now, social activities of your own device and choosing, some travel, and some of you just maybe want to go back, like I'm actually getting a learning vibe, go back to school, or maybe you're going to teach or be a mentor, okay? Let's move on to love. I'll go a little bit briefer through this since I did drill into that more, and I want some time to look at some other things. Okay, so for love, let's pull a card and see what Spirit wants us to focus on. We love the Queen of Wands. Okay, because why? She is passion, she is magic, she is alluring. She's one of the witchy queens. So she has also the ability to manifest what she wants. She can close her eyes and just say, let's do it. And there have been moments in my life where I've definitely connected to Queen of Wands energy. A lot of times for me it's business, but sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's connections, and you just think to yourself, I'm going to be able to get this. I know what I want, I'm going to get it. Or like it can even be getting a key meeting with someone. I don't know why or how, but I'm going to have a chance to talk to that person. It's just going to happen. She sees it, and she's so certain of it, she's like manifesting in real time. So if you're looking for love, or if you're trying to deepen the connection, or if you're trying to make a connection, this is about as magical as you can get, and just trust your instincts. In all areas of love, you either feel the connection or you don't. If you don't, think of that song by Bonnie Raitt from like the late 80s or late 90s. It was like, I can't make you love me if you don't. And this is very true. You can't make someone's heart, now I'm just quoting her song, feel something that it won't. So you have to be able to understand that your ability is to spark and attract that which is in the resonance of you. But if it isn't, then no amount of magic's going to make it stick around and work. So you need to feel the spark. And if it's not there and there's not mutual work being done to make the connection, it's time to move in a new direction. All right, briefly, if you are partnered, make some time for each other, a date night. Things that are challenging in partnerships, change of job, change of living situation, potentially a loss of someone that you care about, or major health shift. What's the positive? We literally got the Lovers. So this is the test. This is why it's great to have partnerships. For better, for worse, in sickness and in health. All that jazz. That's what we've got going on here. A little bit of what? Give and take. I feel good about it overall. Is it testing the relationship? Yeah. Could it be better? Potentially, but it feels manageable, okay? So as long as you do what? Communicate and demonstrate. So the Queen of Wands is a very different type of communication. She shows up. You can just be there holding your partner. That's love. And actually, like when I walk out and leave Apollo for a minute with my friends here, whenever I come back, he nearly attacks me. Right now, he's like sawing logs because I very rarely walk away from him. It's been a luxury to have like an hour or 5 minutes or whatever. But I can see that his love language is connection and like proximity. But it can be doing something for someone that you love, being with them, holding that space and just keeping them company. That can be the love language because you don't necessarily know how to fix this or this or this, but you can be there, you can listen, you can talk it out with them, and that's love. So that's kind of what I'm getting for those that are in a relationship. Okay, long-winded, but it is what it is. If you're single and looking, can you find love? Yes, you can. But there's some things going on in your life. First of all, a warning. It could be fast and furious. The lovers plus the Tower in reverse just means that it could come in and be a distraction in your life. Keep boundaries around it and try to pace yourself. What kind of energy? Possibly a fire sign because we got a lot of fire. When can it happen or where can it happen? Like right now. But we talked about like the lovers can also be people that you know and activities that you're already engaged in. So it feels like it's someone in your proximity. Maybe even someone that's a friend of a friend that you know. We also have the King of Cups down here, which is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. We have the Two of Wands, so you might have two options in front of you. Be discerning. If I could pick between the two, the King of Cups feels like it's very much in your resonance. With the Page of Wands, just make sure that there's the same level of attention and affection. And if not, then that might not be the match for you. Okay, if you're single and happy, good for you. You can do so much with what we've got here. This is massive changes. This is possibly changing the way that people spend on you or think about you. And we can see the ability to really spin things in a new direction. So your presentation skills, your manifestation skills, your ability to finish stuff and to change things are kind of off the charts. So when you're not focusing so much on that in a relationship, it can just be used to really move the needle forward, and that's exciting. Okay, what's it all about? And then I'll take a closer look. We more than met our goal, so thank you so much, everybody. But I'll dig a little bit deeper into both this topic and then maybe one of the runners up. Okay, so Destiny, what's this all about? Okay. A couple of notes with this. So, Five of Swords. Not necessarily what I want to see in the Destiny card. This is a potential block that you can overcome. So what we've seen in this is a very different version of it, but it's the inner saboteur, and it's created these 5 swords. I can't do it. It won't happen. All the things that the external 5 of Swords can do, it can get under your skin. So the traditional card can represent someone that gaslights, that taunts, that doesn't listen, that really wants to kind of help us get into that energy of negativity. So what we're going to do as we're looking at the Destiny card is just figure out, why is this here? Who is this coming from? Because it's not from you. It's ostensibly or probably from someone in the past. Someone who just maybe they didn't have a good example. Sometimes this happens with like parents, grandparents, someone around you. And so that's just them regurgitating what they know, but it's not necessarily the truth. Sometimes they just don't know. They like to kind of get under your skin. So the external 5 of Swords is this dude that is laying down some cruelty and some swords, and he's feeding off of it. You can think of probably a handful of people in your life or in the public arena that enjoy taunting, teasing, bullying, lying. They do whatever they can to get a rise out of you. What do you do in this situation? Starve it. Don't react. Don't give them what they want. Redirect. The same thing happens with the little angel and devil. When the little devil, which is the 5 of Swords inner saboteur, is whispering this stuff, you're like, get out. It's like a fly or a gnat. I'm done with that. And all of those swords just ask the opposite. I can't do it. Why can't I do it? I'm not good enough. Why not? What if I am? What if I'm more than good enough? I can't even think of all the different things it might be. Like, just whatever it is. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if they love you? What if you like succeed beyond your wildest expectations? Just put it in the what if and put a positive. Then what? Then get into what the Two of Wands, which is dreaming. This is a distraction. These are just old systems that are a little afraid to let you go too. And so for some of you, you're just going to lovingly disconnect from those things. Okay? All right. Let's just clear this for a second. And I want to look one last time at the special topic. And I want to ask in this mini review, quickly, what it is that this is all about. So what is the big hidden opportunity that maybe we're ignoring or afraid to see in this moment? And let's see what Spirit has to say. Queen of Swords. I don't love this Queen of Swords card because that's not how I love the Queen of Swords, and I think that this is a weird version of it. But anyway, Queen of Swords. Literally speaking that wish into existence. Let's go to the traditional Queen of Swords. I like that deck, but not that. That's one card that I'm going to do without. So here we go. So with the Queen of Wands, she imagines it, she believes it, she shows it. With the Queen of Swords, she thinks it, she feels it, and she speaks it. That's why when you get married, I do. Literally 2 words seal the contract. When you love someone, I love you. 3 words. It's like as simple of a structure of a sentence as you can get. No. Simple, powerful. She doesn't have to use a lot of words, but when she uses them, they're very powerful. So, to create an opportunity, all you have to do is say it. And as someone who's learning a new language, you don't have to use the big words. You can simply say yes or no, or not yet, not now. Whatever it is, use your words. Also, when you're talking, saying the best possible words to talk about something. Let me take a drink here. I believe in you, or I believe in this. Let's do this. You can just really make them positive, clear, and decisive. What will it take to get you to do this? Because I'm ready and I believe in this. Very direct. And it puts people in a position where they have to make a decision. So she's powerful because she's concise, she's clear, she believes, and she's going to get you to sign on the dotted line. So you have an opportunity to be more, not just impactful, but more persuasive, and to basically step into your power. You've got to believe in yourself, though. So use your voice. And words can be a weapon or they can be a tool. The Queen of Swords in the upright position uses them as a tool. She believes in them. All that we speak, everything that we say, they're incantations. That's why when we say a 4-letter favorite, it's a curse word. So when you tell someone, like, I'm not going to say all of this stuff, but whenever you tell someone to do something, or you say you, or whatever it is, you're using a short word and you're just trying to put a barb out there, and it is a sort of like a curse. So, but when you also then flip it around and say, bless you, or I love you, or amazing job, or you're brilliant, that's a blessing. So use your words to manifest, use them to bless situations. Let's use fewer of the barbs and fewer of the curses, because we have enough of them out there. And also speak to your body and speak to yourself. I can do this. I will heal. I will succeed. I can pick up the pieces. I've learned from this. I can, I will, and our favorite, I am, we bring it into the present because that's where the power is. Could have, would have, should have. Who cares? It doesn't solve today. I can, I will, I am. I'm doing it. Tomorrow's going to be better because I am doing it today. Tomorrow will be better because I believe in myself. Present and active sense. Pull it into that gerund form, ing. So we need to have all of that to kind of really make it powerful, okay? Words matter. How do you think about yourself? What do you say to yourself? What do you say about others? How do you describe yourself? If you're getting a table at a restaurant, never say it's just me. Say it's me. A table for one. Just one? No, a table for one. There's no just or about this. Like, really value yourself. And when you start doing it on the little things, the big things also start to be affected by that. Okay? All right. Because she's about invocation, and that's what words are. We are invoking the power and the belief from within. And when we diminish it, why do that? So wait until you can invoke power and evoke a sort of emotion of like reciprocated like appreciation and power. Okay, we're going to the bonus portion because you all helped me make the goal for today, so thank you. Let me quickly take a look at what was a runner-up and see if there's something that's deserving maybe of a second chance. So just give it a second here for me to look and see. So the runner-up today was very close, very close. When I look at the general portion, it looks like almost everything was 20 beneath the leader. So the next creating necessary balance and alignment. Okay, I like this. So why don't we take a quick glance at what's out of alignment? That's the question that I'd like to ask, and we'll see if we can bring them into better alignment. What's out of alignment? Here we go again. And how can we bring it into alignment? All right. So, with the Five of Swords here, I'm actually getting a much different read on this. So, it's not only okay, but it's good to just maybe walk away from a person that annoys you or don't pick up the phone. So, one thing that's out of alignment for some of you is the boundaries with this kind of energy. And this is such a beautiful illustration for the Five of Swords. Like, this again, seriously, no. The crow here could be either a friend or a foe. It could be the higher self saying, dude, what are you doing? Don't listen to that idiot in the background trying to get your attention. Do something different, do something better. So I think just completely creating some boundaries and blocking that stuff out could be very, very advantageous. And also, there's no more room for inner saboteur, self-doubt, or the lower speech that we talked about. This is another piece of it. When you're communicating and articulating an idea, simple. I have a thought. I have an idea. And just say it directly. We could solve this situation by doing this, this, and this. Don't put any judgment on it unless it's positive. Don't say I have a wild idea, an outlandish one. This may sound insane, but why would you do that to yourself? It's not good. Just speak with neutrality, or if you believe in yourself, put it out there. Say, you know what? I have something that is going to change everything. Listen to this and tell me if you can think of a reason that you don't want to move. Don't even do that. Just say, I have an amazing idea. What if we tried this? Better. Draft it out like I did in real time a couple of times and listen and say, nope, I just invited something in there that I don't want. Let's get to the neutral, direct, and possibly positive version of this and leave it there. Park it there. And if someone else comes in and starts to try all of this, and this happened when I used to work at a corporate job, say, wow, you have so many amazing ideas. Would you like to be on a task force to help me solve this? Sounds like you have a lot of thoughts on this. What are your solutions? Why don't you tell me about that? They'll usually shut up because they may not be able to do it. But at the very least, if you have someone like that, have them research it. Say, why don't you dig in, do some research? Throw it my way tomorrow. I'll be happy to look at it. But for now and until we have a better idea, what if we proceed forward? That's how you can actually steamroll over the Five of Swords. But it takes a little bit of confidence, a little bit of Queen of Swords, a little bit of Queen of Wands, And you have to control it, and this is the big thing. You're the one with the reins. You're not letting the horse gallop in any which way. You're reining it in. Okay, why don't we table that for later? I think we should get started on this and this. Feel free to get back to me tomorrow. Thank you for the feedback. Or we're over for today. You can do a lot of things like that. Take control of the situation. When it's your own thoughts, don't let them go all over the place. Record it, research it, and at some point think, I've done all that I can. I think I have to move forward on this, okay? So we're not letting this derail you. Okay. Because we have a little extra time and you guys allowed this to be, now I'm going to just pull some extra cards because, again, you supported me and I appreciate it, and it's give and take. Okay, so what is it that you're missing? Because we haven't looked at the hidden part. So is there something hidden, and why are you missing it? Wasn't that the center of the previous spread? Okay, so the Strength card. You are strong enough. You are capable. There may have been people in your life that came in, and because of their well intentions, like they would say, are you sure you can, what's going on with this? Like all these little buzzing around, like a helicopter mom or a helicopter boss, or dad for that matter, whoever it was that came in and was buzzing in, it chipped away at your confidence. You can do it, you're doing it, but you have to believe in yourself. That's it. That's the hidden strength, is the strength within. You also have the potential to overcome any odd in front of you. The traditional version of the card shows a woman putting her hand in the mouth of a lion, taming it, getting what she wants. Here's the thing. You shouldn't have to always work so hard. So I'd love for you to look for places in your life where it's easier and it isn't always so much work. But no matter how challenging this is, you can do it. Don't let people put words in your mouth. Don't put it in other people's. What we see here is equity, 50-50, literally in the way that this is illustrated. She's a lioness, half woman, half lion. She doesn't have to prove anymore. And when you're really in a sort of powerful, strong space, you don't need to prove anymore. So believe in yourself, okay? And why is it distracted? Some of you are looking too much at money, expectations, the sort of small print, fine print. It isn't there. It's asking you to go above this. And there may be something in your life where that's not enough anymore. The title, the pay, whatever. So you're being asked to look above that situation and just see how much you have to bring to this sort of like situation. So you are strong enough, but for some reason you're not believing in yourself. So I'm hoping that I helped out a little bit with that. Okay. I'm not going to ask anything. Whatever you need to know, this isn't the silent question. This is more like angels and guides having your back. So they have your back. What do they want to show you right now? And then we're going to wrap up. Okay, well, there's some of you that are very much focused on money and opportunities. So let's look at this. In the deep past, most of the work is done. Eight of Pentacles tells me you've learned, acquired, and organized just about everything that you need to on a certain path. And it's just a matter of saying, okay, I'm ready. I got this. Right now, you may be holding on to a person, place, or activity longer than you need to because it's there, because it's predictable, because it's safe, because it's near you, but it's not enough. And in our main spread, we have the Wheel of Fortune and then the Tower. The Wheel of Fortune reversed, Tower reversed. We can't hold on to something that's not enough any longer. You're just one step away from this very fruitful card. I do like that the Spanish verb for like enjoying is disfrutar, right? Like to take the fruit and enjoy it. So like, I'd love for you to take a moment to just enjoy the hard work that you've done and really believe in yourself. Don't rush, don't force something to happen. Just pace yourself. You're very much close to what you're trying to do. So finish what you've started. Don't settle for less. And if something isn't enough, ask for more or find something that's better. These are the sort of messages from Spirit here. Okay, let's meditate. And then we're going to take a look at one final card. Close your eyes, please, for a moment. Imagine yourself seated in the forest. A nice cool breeze blowing across your face, through your hair. Maybe just like we had seen the Temperance card earlier, your feet are dipped in a beautiful stream, creating the sense of connection, fluidity, and also cooling energy as well. If you'd like to, you can also lay down and imagine that the soft grass beneath you is like this beautiful, supportive bed that just allows you for in this moment in time to feel safe, protected, and connected. What is it in your life that you want to see more of? Imagine that you can start to feel that in your heart. I want this, but also I deserve this. I can receive this, and I won't second guess myself. Allow that heart energy to start to open up and create this beautiful green glow, because that is the true color of the heart chakra. It's just like the green grass, and it's starting to connect you to the planet, to possibilities, and you can even imagine that this green light is reaching out and bringing in the person, place, or thing which you desire and connecting it to your heart. You have this invisible connection or string to what it is that you seek. All you need to do is let your heart be the guide in the days and weeks ahead. Gently open your eyes, place your feet on the ground, and take a nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale, and think of one last question that you need some assistance with. Okay, if you asked a yes or a no, it's a yes. We have the Four of Wands coming through. It's a yes, and it will be benefited and improved with the company and support of other people. Nuances to this card. If you didn't ask a question, this is just showing that in this moment in time, partnership, friendship, and love wants to come through. Very nicely aligned with the Celtic Cross, because the future card, the near future, was the Lovers. So I do believe that this week, part of the magic, part of the power is in friendships, relationships, and partnerships. Very beautiful energy. Okay? That brings us to the end of this reading. Thank you so much for your patience. And I know I mentioned earlier that, there's just a lot going on, and I do appreciate that you guys have been with me every step of the road. I took for granted just how many changes would be happening at once. So yes, things are taking a little bit longer, but I literally made the biggest change that I've made in my life thus far. So be patient with me. All right, let's go through this and express some love and gratitude. First of all, I know not everybody can give back in a way of support, so just being here actually is enough. But for those that gave back extra, I'd like to say thank you so much. All right, so let's begin with Paula, who has been a member for a while and just rejoined. Thank you so much. Casey and Bloom, good to see you as always. She's a member. Starting today's goal, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Yolanda, thank you so much for your sticker. Piscean Fire, thanks for being a member and for your sticker. PJ, here every single week giving multiple stickers. Thank you for being a member and for your sticker and for so many contributions. Same thing to you, Ann Walk. I see you every single week. I appreciate your membership and all that you gave back today to kind of help make it happen. Same thing to Colette. Thank you for being a member, for giving back. PJ, thanks again. Esmeralda, appreciate the sticker and your kindness. PJ, thank you again, and thank you again. Melanie, good to see you. Welcome. I see you're a new member. Good to have you here as part of this family. PJ, thank you again for the 2 stickers. Sokatify, I think it is. Welcome back. Thank you for rejoining as a member. Colette, thank you again. Maria, good to see you. Thanks for your membership and for your sticker. PJ, thanks for gifting that membership, and welcome everybody that just received a membership from PJ. Colette, thank you for the multiple stickers and membership today. Thanks again, PJ. Thank you, List with LaRock. 53 months. That's outstanding. I really, really appreciate you. Loads of love to you as well. I'm glad that this brings you some joy on Saturday, or Sunday rather. PJ, thank you again for the multiple contributions in the membership. Colette, thank you again for both. Let's see. Alice Singletary, thank you for being a member and for the sticker. Georgia, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for the sticker and membership. MPS Lehman, thank you. Good to see you every single weekend. I remember your name and username. I do appreciate your consistency. Colette, thank you again. And Walk, thank you again. PJ, thank you again. Kayla or Kala, thank you so much for being a member and for your vibe sticker. I appreciate it. Gigi, thank you very much for your kind sticker. PJ, thank you again for all of the contributions today. Zeem5085, thanks for the sticker. Colette and Georgia, thank you for the 2 contributions right in a row, and again for being a member. Rafaela, thank you for being a member and for many stickers. PJ, thanks again. Jeannie, thanks for being a very long time member. I see that little jewel at the center of the crown. Thank you so much, and thanks for the sticker too. Anwalk, thank you for gifting a membership, and welcome to the person that received it. And Cheryl, thank you so much for your sticker as well. And I'm glad that people were open to all the opportunities today. I think we had a chance to look at them. All right. As always, let's end with Apollo. We'll gently wake him up, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, by the way, thank you, Enzo. I just saw yours before I went over there. Thank you for being with me for so many years, including, I think all the way back to the pandemic. Many of you have been with me since the pandemic and before. I appreciate it. Hey, Apollo. Hey, sleepy boy. Who's a good boy? Want to wake up? No? He's like, Dad, just let me be. Okay, we'll let you sleep, buddy. You've had a long day. All right, folks. From my heart to yours, wishing you all the best. Take care of yourself. I'll be here every single Sunday. I've already posted tomorrow's daily. I'm working on the monthlies. Thanks again for your understanding. There'll be another change in location, hopefully very soon, as I get settled into hopefully a 3-month rental while some paperwork is getting finalized here. Again, if you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. You can give me a follow across social media if you'd like to. From my website, you can find all of these links, plus PayPal. And if you'd ever like to book a private reading, I do offer those. All of the information is on my website. Until I see you again, all the best. Take care, folks. I'll see you soon.